not left to right. But Ridley caught the ball. Tua is a hero. That tied the game up after the extra point, put Alabama in position to win it. And then Andy Papanastos goes down and just absolutely yanks one left, which pushed it to overtime. Georgia kicked a field goal, a 51-yarder by Rodrigo Blankenship. And then Alabama wins it 2 plays later on the 41-yard touchdown pass from Tua to Devontae Smith.
The aforementioned Alabama kicker, he was a transfer from Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And he certainly had some Ole Misses yesterday, had 2 of them. And, yeah, we were talking off the air.
You can't trust transfers from Ole Miss. I mean, when you start to put the key, you give the keys to your program to a transfer from Ole Miss, I'm not sure what you expect.
We were talking off the air about how his reception would be at campus today.
It would be weird.
Yeah.
He'd be like, hey, you guys won. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Hey, congratulations. I mean, I wonder how he feels. Like, will he still go to the parade? Will he still get a ring? I don't know.
I don't know. They're not going to go to. They're not going to go to Disney World like UCF did.
They're not?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. UCF, I think, finished 6th in the final AP poll.
They got some votes, though. I saw, right? One of the AP polls, they got some votes.
Yeah, they came in 6th.
Yeah.
The Spartans were, I believe, 15th. Which is pretty nice.
Yeah, Northwestern was 17th, by the way.
Very nice.
So did you see the president and the national anthem?
Yeah. I believe that, first of all, when you're watching something like that on television, the sound is not exactly linked up completely correctly all the time, especially if he's hearing somebody sing. And it certainly looked like, and I'm not going to say it's definite, looked like he didn't know the freaking words. The national anthem. That's what it looked like.
He was down on the field.
It was not a good look. Well, I'll just leave it at that.
He did look a little bit like a puppet, and somebody was moving his mouth, and so he was if you're watching like a puppet talk, the lips don't actually move to exactly the words.
But let me ask you, to be in all fairness, there are times when I'm in a game and I'm, the national anthem, and then I'll mouth, a little bit of the word, a little bit, and not all of it.
Yeah, but with all due respect, you're not the best example.
Okay.
Because you don't concentrate sometimes fully. But I will say in his defense, and I know this because my wife is a musical performer and a television personality on the side, that a lot of times there's a whole delay mix minus thing where
exactly.
That's why when you watch the big artists, they have earpieces in both ears, because if they actually hear, so the sound is actually broadcast back into their ears as opposed to hearing the echo that's going out throughout the entire stage.
Yes.
So that may have been it as well. But yeah,
it didn't look
look.
It didn't look real good.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I'm not going to accuse him of not knowing the words of national anthem, because I'm sure he does.
He watched the game from a private box overlooking the Alabama sideline. The Tuscaloosa News had reported that he would appear on the Alabama radio broadcast during the game, but that didn't happen. ESPN also unsuccessfully sought an interview. So there it is.
I'm surprised. Well, actually, I'm not surprised. But it would have been cool to have him, during a timeout, or whatever, and even at halftime.
He went up in the booth with Gary Danielson and Vern
at the Army-Navy game.
At the Army-Navy game last year. So
he's fine.
He's done it before.
It's the President of the United States. No matter what you think of him, I mean, that would have been all right.
Mm-hmm.
There were some people who would have rather have seen that interview at halftime than Kendrick Lamar.
I guess. Kendrick put on a heck of a show.
Now, let me ask you, obviously, because it was outside, I assume he did more songs for the people out there than just what was shown at halftime.
I would assume so, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what his gig was, or if he was just there to play the halftime show and that was it. I must admit I was a little bit surprised that he wasn't in the stadium.
I know.
That's what I figured they were going to do. But, I would assume that back in the stadium they were able to have the marching bands go out there and play their gigs, and, that's just normal.
Now, would more people, I guess, would rather see Kendrick Lamar than the Alabama and then the Georgia marching bands, correct?
I would think more people would, yes, number one. And number two, again, it's like you're capturing that B audience.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
The black audience? Is that what you're saying?
No, the audience who's not a football team.
Secondary.
Secondary audience, yeah. I mean, like Heather or my wife or maybe your wife, who don't care about the game itself, but might want to see Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
It's kind of like the Super Bowl theory.
Yes. Jamie, fantasy football is wrapped up for most people, although some people do have fantasy football playoff leagues. Fantasy football.
I entered that
NFL
one
playoffs.
on the NFL.com where you pick players. Have you done that before?
No.
Me and my son do. You pick players at each position, and then if your guys play beyond like 1 week, you get double the points and triple the points. So ideally, you pick a team of guys who are all going to the Super Bowl.
Well, a North Carolina dude, he came in last in his fantasy football league, and he got unusual punishment. Now, there are some leagues who do this. If you come in last, you have to do some ridiculous task.
Get a tattoo?
Yeah, or do something. No, this guy had to go to his local Waffle House and spend 24 hours in the Waffle House. I lost fantasy football, so I must stay 24 hours in the Waffle House. The sign stated, he had a sign saying it with a disclaimer at the bottom saying, minus 20 minutes for each waffle consumed. He ended up eating 7 waffles, earning him enough credit to end his vigil after 21 hours and 40 minutes.
Wait, what? He ate 7 waffles?
Right, so he gets 20 minutes of time served for
each
waffle.
waffle. Gotcha.
Yeah. That's an interesting one. I mean, I could deal with that, couldn't you?
How did you hear about this? This made the news?
Yes. From a service that I didn't even know even existed, UPI.
This qualified as news? Some guys hung out in the Waffle House for that long?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And in fact, Jamie, we actually have sound from him. Justin Polachek talks about staying at the Waffle House.
We were just spitballing ideas for punishments this year because we knew we needed to do something. And somebody just said it, I forget who, somebody just said it and it just stuck. We had to do it at that point. It made the whole season so much more intense. I did not think I was going to lose. So, man, I'm a little anxious, honestly. I don't want to get this over with. I've been thinking about it for a long time, literally since the beginning of the season. I hope this sentence sucks less than my fantasy team did.
And that was from WECT in Wilmington, North Carolina. CTE. No, ECT. And he talks about how his season started going downhill when OBJ got hurt.
Yeah, that sent a lot of people.
Well, they did. Rieger had what? Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell at one point, and Bell was suspended for the first few games, and then Antonio Brown got hurt for a decent amount of time, right?
Did he?
I thought so, didn't he?
I don't remember. Well, I mean, look, I've heard of the leagues that give out tattoos. If you lose, right?
I don't want no tattoo. I don't want no tattoo or brand.
The Bill Simmons league that he's in, I listened to his podcast, as you know, Stoney.
Yeah.
They have, I believe, either 11 teams in a 10-team league or 13 teams in a 12-team league. And whoever wins the league the following year throws somebody out of the league for the entire year. So they show up for the draft, and then he walks in and just automatically picks somebody, and they get thrown out of the league for the entire year.
Oh, so it has nothing to do with finishing last place or nothing.
No, it's like
that's the prize.
It's like spite.
Okay.
Like, let's say you were in a league with Wojo.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to throw Wojo out of the league for an entire year?
No, because he wouldn't care.
Okay, well, let's pretend he did care.
Okay, yes. It would
and
be
he
great.
really cared about fantasy football.
Yeah.
And you could come in and throw him out of the league for an entire year. You would jump at the opportunity.
Or you could pick your punishment for him. Like, for instance, if we were in a league with our next guest, Mr. Sock, somebody wins a league, and you have to say, all right.
He's got to wear a Michigan
He's
sweatshirt.
got to wear a Michigan jersey like once a week.
Done. I bet that's done.
Yeah.
I bet there's leagues like that for sure.
I'm kind of glad we don't have that.
248-539-9797 is the telephone number. The ticket text 97136. Stan Van Gundy, the Pistons did lose last night to the New Orleans Pelicans 112-109. Before the game, Stan Van Gundy did speak. He was asked about this ongoing flap with LeVar Ball, ESPN, Rick Carlisle, and the NBA. Much like a lot of the other outspoken coaches, Van Gundy is not too happy. NBA coaches really look out for each other, don't they?
That part is good.
No, I know, but more than any other sport. Like I remember when, God, who was it? When Larry Brown was here and they fired somebody and hired Lawrence Frank as head coach of the New Jersey Nets. Was it Byron Scott?
Yes.
And he really was outspoken because it's like, who is this guy? Why are they doing this? You know, they really do feel like coaches don't get enough opportunity.
They certainly get enough money.
They get enough money, but they get a short leash.
Yeah.
And so anyway, Stan Van was talking yesterday about this whole thing, and he said that on January 19th, the Pistons will take on the Washington Wizards, and the game will be televised on ESPN.
Cool. We get some national play.
And Van Gundy said he has no plans to help out the ESPN broadcasters. He has no plans to meet with them before the game.
There's an asterisk there, though.
And he has no plans to do the little halftime interview.
What if it's the game where his brother's the color analyst? He's not going to help out his brother?
I have no idea. I'm guessing, knowing the way Jeff Van Gundy feels about these issues, he probably feels the same way. You know? I mean, he probably thinks the content decisions at ESPN. So it is a little bit of a infringing on free speech situation. But at the same time, it's also the NBA coaches saying, is this really a story?
Oh, ESPN wrote something that we didn't like. Come on, really?
Is this really a story?
Are we in Russia? I don't understand.
Yes, you do.
The vitriol here.
Yes, you do. Don't say you don't understand.
Okay,
you do
sorry.
understand.
I know that they're pissed because they're our partner and they took a swipe. And they didn't take a swipe. He was doing an interview with LeVar Ball, and he happened to mention it. So what should they have done? Not printed that part of the interview? I guess that's what they wanted to do. So censor it because they're the partner? Is that what Rick Carlisle and Stan Van Gundy are calling for? Censorship? Or are they just calling for, look, Jeff Goodman, who's covering it, shouldn't even be there? Now, I don't understand the big deal either, but it's not that big of a deal. Oh, look, he tweeted, though, Jeff Goodman. The team is redoing the court with big baller decals right now. We got video of their shoot-around. They tip off their first game at 1:30.
Oh,
I think it's absurd as well, but to make a huge, big deal about it because he made a disparaging remark about Luke Walton. Look, if the father of any number 2 pick overall in any sport, whether football or basketball, said something about the other guy, about his son's coach, it would be news.
I don't know. I really don't know about that.
You don't think so?
No, I don't, because this guy has turned himself into a spectacle, and we're part of the problem, and ESPN's part of the problem, and to some degree, the coaches are part of the problem.
If Joey Harrington, okay, he was the 3rd overall pick. If his father said something complaining about something about here, you don't think we would talk about it?
Who would he say it to?
I don't know. The Oregonian. I have no idea.
But why would the Oregonian pick up their phone and call Joey Harrington's father?
Because
ESPN followed this guy. He's a showman. He's like P.T. Barnum for basketball, but not in the good way, not in the Hugh Jackman way. All right, coming up next, we'll be joined by Evan
I heard that
Jenkins.
movie's overrated.
Mr. Sock will tell us what's buzzing on Jamie and Stoney.
No censorship with Mr. Sock.
.com.